Welcome to PsychicBent. My name is Carrie.
And I'm Kim. We are two sisters wanting to help other psychics learn and grow in their abilities and to help educate about spirits, angels, and everything psychic. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Kim. With this being the busy time of year for Carrie and I, we decided to re-air our two most popular episodes. Last time, we re-aired the Dark Empath episode. Now this time, we are going to re-air our most popular episode, which is about the Heyoka and Intuitive Empaths. We hope you enjoy this, and thank you so much for listening to PsychicBent. May your light shine bright. Welcome back to PsychicBent. Today we are going to be starting the third part of the Empath series, where we will start with discussing the Heyoka Empath. Carrie, would you like to start us on that one?
Absolutely. And this one was really fun to research and delve into. The Heyoka word is actually origin of the Sioux tribe. And Heyoka means basically sacred clown in Sioux. Huh. Which I thought was really interesting. I thought, well, this is a good way to start. Sacred clown.
Right.
I like this already.
Yep. Who doesn't like being a clown, right?
Yeah. So a Heyoka empath is one of the more rare empaths. So it's not as common. Now, I'm wondering if, just like all empaths, there's different degrees. Like I'm a different degree emotional than you are, for the empath. So I'm right. Thinking that it could possibly be the same way for all of them, but it could possibly be for the Heyoka. So the Heyoka empath is somebody that sees the world differently and goes against convention. And these empaths will alter people's perceptions and shift the situation's energy. They also like to act as mirrors. So they will reflect people's emotions and traits, both positive and negative, back at them. Which I think is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Because
you as the person in contact with a Heyoka could be feeling, judgmental and sad or whatever, and that Heyoka could bounce those feelings right back to you?
Yeah.
Is that how you understand that?
Yes, trying to do a paradigm shift.
Wow.
So trying to show you to get your attention to change your thought pattern or what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
Got it. Yeah, they are wise, but they have a streak of childness about them. They can confuse people, especially when it comes to empaths wishing to help. So if you got an empath trying to help a Heyoka, they like to confuse you. Have a little fun with it.
Gosh, I deal with confusion enough on my own. I don't need one bouncing back at me.
Well, I thought it was funny when I was doing the research. And, you always, anytime you do a research, they give you the how many signs you're this, And so I came across the signs if you're a Heyoka empath. Number 1, you must be an empath. I just thought that was funny. It's like, duh, okay.
Really? You do? Imagine that.
So you can tick that box, folks, if you are an empath. Okay. Which, by the way, we have on the Facebook page Dr. Orloff's empath test, which I highly recommend that you go and click on there and take the empath test. It gives you a percentage of how empathic you are. So I would definitely recommend doing that. So number 1, we got out of the way. You're an empath. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to delve too deep into that. Number 2, you are a joker. Heyoka empaths usually have a very jovial and humorous streak to them. Even when times are tough, they can poke fun at the situation and see the funny side of things. If you are a Heyoka empath, your jokes might sometimes ruffle a few feathers. You do not shy away from telling it how it is and being truthful about how you feel about someone. You humorously do this, but sometimes this can be a bit too much for some people. By being humorous and sarcastic, Heyoka empaths can disrupt thought processes that people have learned. This way of communicating with others means that you help people unlearn what society teaches us and allow people to question the norm. This can be overwhelming for some, but others will truly relish your company. That's kind of cool, isn't it?
That is kind of cool. Would this be considered the class clown?
Yes.
Or is that just somebody that can't control they want attention?
Well, I mean, you are going to have people that just want attention, but your Heyoka will use humor as a self-defense mechanism to get you to see what you're doing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's
very interesting.
Yeah, so it's the way they know how they're using their humor. Now, it could be just instinctively doing it, that they might not like, oh, I'm going to go do this. It's just an instinct or spirits guiding them to use their humor in a certain way. But they often do use humor to maybe change a situation, especially if it's a highly charged situation.
Gotcha.
People react emotionally to you if you're a Heyoka. You are an emotional mirror. You can reflect people's true personalities and traits back at them, allowing them to see the person they are. You do this by humor, but can also mirror other people's behavior and take them on as your own. And this is very subtle. You might not even be aware that you're doing it because of your ability to reflect a person's true self. You might find that people have a strong emotional reaction to you that's either positive or negative. So you're basically mirroring what they're doing or how they're acting.
Wow.
Sometimes people might
Interesting.
Yeah, sometimes people might find you irritating and overwhelming, or even feel a load of anger when you interact with them. Oftentimes people will react with a huge sense of love. This is because their interaction with you had been life-changing and allowing them to see them true selves. So a Heyoka, which I found this funny, sometimes people will make fun of the Heyoka empath for their behavior, but when in reality, the Heyoka is mirroring their behavior. So they're basically laughing at themselves, which I found that really hilarious. Just like that's so funny.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, well, they get mad at you because you're acting like them. That's funny. You're young at heart.
That's funny.
A lot of Heyoka empaths have a streak of childness to them. This is not bad, but it means that they look at the world with fresh eyes. If you are a Heyoka empath, you have a childlike wonder to the world, and you feel younger than your actual age. You may have strong creative energy, be able to play make-believe, or do arts and crafts easily. You love to daydream, always thinking of new ideas. This helps you heal others, and it lets you see things new and understand what is really important in life.
Cool.
As a Heyoka, you do go against the norm. Are you a free spirit? If you are, you're possibly a Heyoka. You like unconventional, nonconformist. A Heyoka empath will go against the norm, always doing exactly what you want to do regardless of what the people around you expect you to do. When it concerns talking,
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, you're not this empath, Kim. I hate to break it to you.
I am not.
You are not this empath. No.
Nope.
So if you're basically going against the norm, it means that you're a spiritual teacher, basically, if you're a Heyoka. Because you're going to turn the world upside down, challenging the status quo and society's norm. And being around you, others can do this too. It helps them begin their spiritual journey, which is very cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
You are emotionally unpredictable. You're still not one of these, Kim.
No, still not.
The people close...
I've not checked anything but number one.
Number one, you're an empath.
I'm an empath.
People close to you might have said that you're emotionally unpredictable. This is because you're extremely reactive to others' emotions and because your willingness to go against what society expects of you. You do not feel the need to hide your emotions. Your openness and honesty are refreshing to many people, but can be overwhelming to others. Your emotions sometimes feel a bit back to front, when most people cry, you might start to laugh. Nobody can predict how you're going to react to things, and because you do it backwards or in a different way. That's part of the sacred cloud.
Wow. Interesting.
And like most empaths, you enjoy solitude. Even though you are a joker with a great deal to give people in your life, you really value spending time alone, because being an empath is hard. You feel the emotions of others, and this can be overwhelming. But being a Heyoka empath is even more of a strain because the emotional reactions of the people you interact with, because of the intensity of being an empath, you really enjoy your solitude and spending time alone, doing exactly what you want to do, relaxing. The Heyoka empath might even spend days not speaking to anybody, to just basically retreat into their own world so they can come back out rejuvenated and healed.
Wow. Now, I might tick that one.
I might tick that one just because you don't talk to someone for days.
That's right.
Now, this one I love. I don't know why. You're honest with people. It's just huge part of being the Heyoka empath is honesty. For this kind of empath, there is no point of lying to anyone. This is really helpful when wanting people to grow and better themselves. You want people to heal. You want to assist people in personal growth. And a big part of this is being honest with them. They ask you your opinion. You never lie. So if you're going to ask a Heyoka a question, be prepared. You're going to get the truth. Maybe sugar-coated,
may not
maybe
like the
not.
Truth. Yep. I don't know that it would be sugar-coated.
No, because a Heyoka doesn't lie. They will never lie. It's just not. It's not in their ability. So if you ask them a question, they're going to give you the truth. But they might use humor to deliver that truth, or they might just be blunt. But the Heyoka's job is to tear down lies, allowing the individual to see their true self. You often know exactly what people need to hear, even though they don't want to listen. Some people be annoyed at your honesty, but soon they will see it's necessary. So you get to basically, look, dude, this is your problem. Fix it.
This is how it is.
I love that.
Fix it.
I would so get in trouble at work. Let me tell you what your problem is. Now fix it. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way.
You got an hour? Sit down. I got something to tell you.
Get the box of Kleenexes. You might need it.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is you care about people. And obviously you do, or you wouldn't want to try to help them change their thought processes. And, and the whole point of being honest is to help someone. But you care about most human beings. You tend to care about every person deeply. When meeting strangers, you will feel their emotions and therefore become connected with them. You want to help every person you meet. When meeting people who are sad or unstable, no matter how brief the meeting is, you will do all you can to heal them. You might help people in unconventional ways, and you definitely aren't shy of a bit of tough love. However, everything you do is because you care. And, most people aren't used to having someone care like that.
Well, that's true, because it's such a deep level.
And like most empaths, you can sense energy and emotions. But you're also very sensitive to energy of places and situations. You can sense heavy negative energy. You're able to alter the energy, working with it to transform it. This is because you have your own disruptive energy has that power to turn situations around. Sensing energy can be overwhelming to you, and sometimes you might feel incredibly uncomfortable in particular buildings or social gatherings. This is because you are so in tune to the universe, and sometimes it can just be hard to know how to deal with it. But, if you have this is a gift. If you have this one, even though it's tough, nothing feels like it. Nothing can feel like that.
Right. Transforming that negative energy into something positive, that's amazing.
All right. And you also embrace life's ups and downs. You do not shy away from the roller coaster that is life. In fact, you truly embrace the ups and downs that life throws you. Heyoka empaths are aware that for there to be good, there needs to be badness. Just like you can't have light without darkness. So they know that there's that balance.
Right.
Life
true.
is incredible, and with so many amazing experiences to have, this is part of the wisdom the Heyoka empath have. These empaths are truly very wise and understand the complexity and depth of life. If you are a Heyoka empath, you always throw yourself into every situation, embracing every feeling and emotion you have, knowing that it makes for a beautiful and exciting life. Now that is wonderful.
That is wonderful, yeah. Wow.
You display courage. One of the key traits associated with the Heyoka is courage. You often display amazing strength and bravery in the face of adversity, whether to be standing up to a powerful figure, speaking out against injustice, or pushing your own boundaries. As a Heyoka empath, you do not shy away from tough situations. They are also said to be incredibly resilient and able to cope with extreme amount of stress without crumbling. This sign may suggest that you have an admirable level of courage and strength. You are not afraid to stand up for what you believe in, fight for justice, and reach for your dream.
Wow. I know I keep saying wow after everything, but this is really amazing.
Wow. I found this very exciting when I dove into it. And really, I'm going to scroll on you like I always do. As I'm reading the Heyoka, there's a movie, a series on Netflix called Longmire, which is, a very interesting show. And it does deal in part with Native Americans in part of the show. And they actually had a Heyoka on the show.
Oh, cool.
And as I'm reading this, I'm going, oh my gosh, that was that character in Longmire. Oh my, I mean, he came in riding his horse backwards. He did everything backwards. Yeah. I mean, it was very extreme. Yes. But I'm like, oh, I know what this is. Okay. I know. Check out Longmire.
Huh, you could relate. That's neat.
I could relate to that. I'm like, okay. The one thing about Heyokes is they have a sharp edge.
What does that mean?
Their sharp wit and sense of humor, but their words can also have a sharp edge. People with this ability understand that sometimes a hard truth needs to be said in order to get things done, so they are not afraid to speak up and call out any injustices they see. This can often result in you making powerful statements that leave an impression on those around them. Furthermore, you are not easily intimidated, and you will not back down from what you truly believe in. As such, when it comes to the Heyoka empath, your words may carry a certain level of sharpness, but is usually used for the purpose of being truthful, even if it means upsetting others.
Wow. That's...
So you're not pulling punches.
Right. How admirable. I could only wish to have a little bit of that, Seriously,
well,
I mean, I myself have a difficult time expressing how I truly feel about something. You know what I'm saying? Or, I mean, I can stand up for things, but to express it that way, that's amazing.
Yes, because you're putting yourself out there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
You're out there. You're saying your view. Come what may, this is my view. I don't care what the world thinks. I don't care what social media is going to say in response to this. This is my view.
Right.
But you're not flaunting it like people do. So it's just your view. It's just who you are.
Correct. It's just your truth.
Yeah. They also like to ask difficult questions. Those with the Heyoka ability are known to be thought provokers and often have a knack for asking difficult questions that can sometimes ruffle a few feathers. Because of this, you are skilled in delving deep into topics and expressing yourself in ways that can challenge the status quo. You're also a great problem solver who can look beyond surface level dialogue in order to uncover underlying issues which may cause problems. If you are exhibited a pattern of asking uncomfortable questions and difficult questions, it could be one of the signs that you possess this special gift. You say things that others are not afraid to say. This is not you. This is not you, Kim.
No.
No, not you. You possess a unique ability to say what others are afraid to say. This means you speak out against injustices, cut through any form of deception, and provide clarity in chaotic situations. Furthermore, you are not easily intimidated and possess a level of courage that allows you to take a stand for what you believe is right. In doing so, your words often carry great weight and leave a lasting impression of those around you. As such, speaking out when no one else will is one of the signs that identifies you as a Heyoka empath.
That's great.
You provoke laughter in distressing situations. Humor is a common trait of Heyoka empaths. You can often be found injecting some laughter into even the most distressing of situations. You are especially skilled at cutting through the tension with sarcastic wit, levity, allowing others to break from their worries just for a moment. You also have a unique understanding of life's ups and downs and can use laughter as an effective way to help others break through overwhelming feelings while providing insight that is both insightful yet humorous. Being able to find humor in less than ideal circumstances may be one of the telltale signs of if you possess this special gift. That's all I got out of you with.
Yeah, no.
Makes you think about it, though, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
So you also. Okay.
I'm just saying, just so far, all this is just like blowing my mind. I'd like to meet a Heyoka.
Yeah.
And maybe I have and I don't know it.
If we have a listener out there that's a Heyoka, contact Kim. You sometimes provoke chaos to jolt others out of their comfort zone. Heyoka empaths possess a unique ability to challenge people who are overly complacent and secure in their beliefs and behaviors. You have a knack of provoking fear, chaos, and introspection in order to keep individuals from taking themselves too seriously or believing that they are more powerful than they really are. As such, this uncanny skill to jolt others out of their comfort zone can be one of the signs that identify you as a Heyoka. You read between the lines. A Heyoka empath has a skill at reading between the lines and discerning subtle yet powerful nuances in conversations or encounters. You can detect what is not explicitly stated or pick up on underlining messages and intentions that may be too faint for others to notice. As such, it is believed that this ability to tune into deeper levels of understanding can also be a telltale sign.
Well, that's interesting.
You act as a sanctuary and stronghold from the storms of life. You are often drawn to offering support and sanctuary to others during challenging times. You have a special talent for providing a comforting and secure haven from the storms of life, whether it be through emotional support or physical resources. Heyoka empaths are also known for their ability to create a safe and supportive space for others, providing stability and comfort when life becomes overwhelming. You radiate an aura of safety and security that gives people the assurance that they can share their troubles in a non-judgmental environment, essentially allowing you to find peace in the midst of chaos and continue with their lives.
Well, that's amazing. That really is. To be
it?
able to have that ability. That is great.
You also, like most empaths, have the ability to sense when someone is lying.
Mm-hmm.
Your perception can be so sharp that you will sense lies even if the person being deceptive shows no physical signs of being dishonest. It is not uncommon to hear these unique types of empaths describe feeling a disconnection between the world and body language of a person they are talking to. You can feel when someone is lying, often pick up the subtle cues that others may not, and because of the sharp intuition, typically make excellent detectives, truth seekers, recognizing dishonesty even in the most adept liars.
Wow. Police officer? Or
Police officer.
An investigator?
Yeah. FBI.
Criminal investigator?
I don't know if you could do the clown thing, but yeah.
True. But I just mean that portion would be
Yes.
great for a detective. Or
Yes. Now, my final Heyoka trait is you do not fall victim to peer pressure. You are a strong sense of self, and you don't often succumb to peer pressure. Because of this, you are aware of your true values, know what matters to you most, and refuse to abandon those beliefs in favor of a popular opinion. You resist the common biases and false beliefs of others, instead relying on you, your intuition, and creative spirit to guide you. In these moments, you are courageous, standing up for what you know is the right, even when it may not seem like the cool thing to do. Furthermore, you see through manipulating techniques such as gaslighting and are unafraid of calling out hypocrisy when you encounter it. If you are a Heyoka empath, your goal in life is to help others, and just because you do so in an unconventional way does not mean it doesn't work. By holding up a mirror to others, you allow them to heal and recover from things that they are holding back.
Wow. That is just amazing.
See, that was a big positive spin on an empath.
Yeah, wow. I mean, everything. I would admire the Heyoka empath on so many levels.
And like I said, I think that just like with all empaths, there's different levels and degrees of things. So I'm not sure you have to tick all the boxes on the Heyoka. You do have to tick more than just the first one.
Right.
But, because I think that, as you're stepping into your own, the other traits may become more popular, or might show up better.
Yeah. That's true. I think this one is definitely one that you are born with.
Yes. I think you're born with all of them, but...
Well, but I mean, with the Heyoka empath, I guess I just admired this one so much after hearing about it that I just think you're born this way. I mean, you can develop...
Yes, you are.
I mean,
yes, you are.
You can expand upon the abilities of it, but I think this is... Wow. That's all I got. I can't even express what I'm trying to say.
Then why don't you bring us to our next empath?
Okay. Well,
the intuitive.
Yeah, the intuitive empath. Now, this one, I think that you and I both have this empathic ability, or being this empath. It resonates with us. Let's put it that way. Intuitive empaths are one of the most common types of empaths who are capable of perceiving emotions through their senses. They use their intuition to connect to the energy and emotions of others around them. They have to deal with a lot of emotions every day and have emotionally strong intuition. They typically experience one or more of the four main clairs, which is clairsentience, which is clear feeling, clairaudience, which is clear hearing, clairvoyance, which is clear seeing, or claircognizance, which is clear knowing. What do you think about that, Carrie?
Well, I do believe we do resonate with that one.
Yeah, right?
Yes. But, I think that as you develop your clairs, when, and you are an intuitive empath, it's going to amp everything up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting everything working together. You're getting your intuitive empath abilities are now kind of syncing with your clairs. And the more that you work your clair muscles, you're going to be more comfortable with your intuitive empath abilities. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Yeah. I could see that.
So that's why it's a good idea to, if you're an intuitive empath, you're going to want to pick one of the clairs that Kim mentioned to work on first. And of course, obviously your strongest one, which would be claircognizance, to work with your intuitive empath side. And then it'll make you basically a stronger psychic. And it'll help you with your confidence. Also help you cope with your empath abilities.
Right.
Help you discern more. You get more used to discerning what's mine, what's not mine. And then when you work on the other clairs and use all of them in together, you find yourself, I believe, less overwhelmed.
Yes, I could see where that would cause you to be less overwhelmed with everything that you're receiving, because you're learning how to filter out and ground yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Intuitive empaths are sensitive, loving, and have a big heart, but may unwittingly absorb things such as negative energy. Energetic boundaries are a necessity for an intuitive empath. Intuitive empaths are givers, and they don't like sharing their emotions because they feel it will unnecessarily burden their loved ones. But when they trust someone, they break all barriers and base their relationship on honesty and understanding. Any dishonest act of their partner can scar the intuitive empath for life. This also applies to friendships, which it's true because, they're bringing in so much energy and emotions. They expect people to be honest with them. And when that trust is broken, it gets them all the way to their soul. Like we said with the other empaths, with the emotional empath, they feel it very deeply. The emotional empath and the intuitive empath have overlapping traits, I guess we could say.
I think one of the problems with an intuitive empath is, you're picking up on things and you kind of discredit them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to justify your loved one, so to speak, and you're picking and sensing things, but no, push aside. That's somebody else's. Instead of delving into the fact that you're basically getting the correct information, but you're not willing to accept the correct information because you've allowed this person into your space.
Correct.
And so when the deception happens, that's why it's kind of more of a tenfold hurt, because you've got the hurt of what they've done to you, but then you also have got the hurt of, I saw it coming, I ignored it, what's wrong with me, kind of stuff that goes with that.
Exactly.
And, it's like you being too close to a situation. You can't always read it.
True. That's true. Yep.
So if you've got a real good friend that, ends up betraying your trust with something, that's why it hurts so bad. It's, you're losing this friendship because you're not going to forgive them.
Yes, exactly.
And then you got the, why didn't I see this coming? But, you're a psychic, you're not a fortune teller. You sometimes can't pick up everything.
True. or you just write it off.
Yeah. Or you were just so busy with life that,
right.
And that you end up being blindsided by it. In those situations, you cut yourself a break.
Yes.
Definitely. Yes, you're not going, that's not going to happen to you again. You're not going to let them back into your life. Mm-hmm. But, it's sometimes these things happen to remove people from your life that aren't supposed to be there or are keeping you off your path.
That's right.
So you can never forgive them, but you don't have to, you don't have to be bitter about it. You could just be better.
That's right.
And get on to where you need to be.
Right. Don't be bitter. Be better. I like that.
My mantra.
Yay. So intuitive empaths pick up on the energies of people around them, along with the energies surrounding them. Intuitive empaths can get overwhelmed in environments, and they often try to escape into the world of imagination and often daydream. Does that resonate with you?
Guilty.
The intuitive empath can tell what's going on in someone's mind. They can read people by paying attention to everything from tone, the person's expression, body language, and look deeper into people's hearts. They can immediately tell a person's inner feelings and can read between the lines and is a pro at connecting the dots of a situation.
Which has good and bad significance to that.
How so? Explain. Expand that one.
Well, yes, you're good at connecting the dots. But then there's some situations where you're connecting dots, but you're not going to share these dots that you just connected because of a situation.
Because you don't want to hurt people's feelings and whatnot.
You don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or you don't want them to know what you know.
Right, that's true.
Because you're going to play it out and see where this goes, because, you know stuff. You've connected these dots, and sometimes you connect these dots and you're just like, this isn't worth it. I'm going to walk away.
I'm walking away right now.
I'm walking away. And you're not going to understand why, but that's okay.
Yeah. That's a good point. Good point. Good example there. They may not be introverts, but they become overwhelmed and overstimulated in busy or crowded places, which requires alone time to recharge as other empaths need. Negative environments are highly draining for an intuitive empath. They are popular therapists in their circle. People trust your intuition, and they know that you will be able to help them. You only want what's best for your circle of people and channel your abilities to give them the best advice. The intuitive empath finds it difficult to separate their emotions from others, and this causes them to feel frustrated, low, and escape their surroundings. Since they absorb negative energy, they require cleansing, and you need to focus on yourself sometimes too, which is the cleansing bath that we've talked about before, the getting into a shower to wash away all that negativity that the intuitive empath can absorb. Anything?
Okay. Psychic showers are always good for every occasion.
Any psychic occasion. Showers. That's the phrase I was looking for. Psychic showers.
Put a little essential oil in there, and you're good.
And you're good. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, an intuitive empath, they are not prompt decision makers. Guilty.
I am not guilty of that.
Really?
Yes. I use my other psychic abilities to make decisions. I make decisions pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yes, I do not tick that box.
Oh, I tick it with a giant check mark. Intuitive
empaths,
they try to look at all the aspects of an issue and look for the bright side. This prohibits the intuitive empath from making quick decisions. Though this is seen as a downside to the intuitive empath, is actually their essence at work. They want to be thorough with their understanding and be fair towards anyone. They try not to be judgmental in any way and focus on positive things even during the most negative events and prioritize healing people first. So that is me. I am not a quick decision maker. I have to look at every angle before I can say, yep, that's what I want to do. That's it. That's where I need to go with this.
I think I rely a lot on my psychic toolbox. When it comes to decisions, I'll ask spirit, and then just to make sure, I'll take my pendulum out and ask the same question, and they're always the same answer, but I do a lot of decision making that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I could have, previously overthought things. I do overthink things, don't get me wrong, but not when it comes to decision making.
Right.
But I do try to rely on spirit to guide me on that.
You've developed that to your psychic abilities. Am I saying that right? I mean, you went from the developing your clairs to improving your empathic abilities and which empaths you are, and then went onto the psychic portion of your development, whereas the empath themselves, not expanding up to developing into the psychic realm, for lack of a words escaping me here. That's
so an untrained empath.
An untrained empath. There we go.
Untrained empath.
Right. Then their decision making, they're relying on that intuitive empath abilities. Their decision making is very difficult for them to come to a prompt decision. So there's hope, people. Right?
Yes, definite. But that it also involves getting out of your comfort zone, because you're comfortable doing that. You're comfortable overanalyzing because it's what you know, it's what you trust.
Yeah, on a personal level, it's my left brain talking.
Yes, and you have to get to the right brain to allow, because if you're on the wrong path of your spiritual growth, mm-hmm. you're gonna have obstacle upon obstacle upon obstacle.
Yes.
But if you're on the right path, it's going to be smooth. But right. Sometimes it's getting past the overthinking. If you're overthinking the situation, you're going to have a lot of obstacles because that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Right. Yeah.
You're supposed to be over here doing this podcast with your sister
Right, exactly.
And not overthinking it. Oh, wait, did I say that?
Yeah, I'm trying. Okay, some of the positives of or pros to being an intuitive empath is that you make friends quite easily as you have a knack for listening to other people talk. You try to understand everyone's point of view, which makes you a great facilitator resolving disputes. So you make a great moderator. Intuitive empaths are highly creative and can thrive in the artistic domain.
Guilty as charged.
I was waiting for that.
Yes, that's my happy place.
Yeah. You can smell deceit, which enables you to protect your loved ones in any situation. That's a good one. You always try to see the bigger picture, which refrains you from making blunders during important decision-making situations. So it is a plus that you can see the bigger picture.
Without analyzing it to death. Yes, she went there again.
She did go there again. Yes. So some of the disadvantages of being an intuitive empath is intuitive empaths are bad at multitasking as they already have a lot going on in their minds, and taking up extra responsibilities clutters their mind. I can understand that. You feel lonely a lot of the time as you might not be able to open up in front of many people and burden them with your issues. Yep, that is a negative. You can sense negativity better and quicker than anyone else, and so testing someone is a big deal for you. Crowded places aren't your thing. You subconsciously absorb everyone's vibes, whether positive or negative, which in turn kills your own mood. Oh, I so get that one. Yeah. But that's where you have to do your protective bubbles and your grounding and such.
I feel like this next one is aimed at me. I'm just saying.
Well, let's just see what our audience thinks. You lack focus, or better yet, easily squirreled. If something doesn't interest you, you'll try to escape your task. This quality can make intuitive empaths lazy and unenthusiastic about life. I don't think you're lazy. But
I'm not lazy, but
nope, we're not lazy.
But if I get bored, I'm out of here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is me too. I can't tell you how many times I'll be doing something and just like, oh nope, get up and go do something else. Come back because you have to get it done. Nope, I'm squirreled again. Yeah, I suffer from that too.
I think that I like this empath, because obviously we have a lot of characteristics that go with this empath. Mm-hmm. But as you're developing your abilities, your natural abilities, through the clairs, and, we'll be talking about psychic toolboxes down the road and how to use the different tools. But, this so is wonderful to go into the path of doing readings. Because you've got and I know you don't like to hear that because that's you try to hide from that as much as possible. But
you tell my secrets so much.
It wasn't a big secret.
Okay.
It wasn't a big secret. But being an intuitive empath, as you're working on your clairs and you're building your confidence and you're building that relationship with what your path takes you to, whether you deal with spirit or whatnot, they go hand in hand, and it makes you, to me, it's easier to use your psychic abilities with being this type of empath.
Okay.
Whether you choose to or not, Kim, is totally up to you.
But
whereas our other sister has totally enveloped it and has, does readings a lot.
True. Yeah, that's true. But how did you get to that point? Did you start by realizing that you're an intuitive empath? Or, I mean, I know you've had abilities since childhood. That's not, how did you come to terms with, what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to ask?
Yeah, it didn't have a label at the time. It's just whatever you were, and this is how life was. And it was actually our eldest sister. I was visiting from the West Coast, and she just looked at me and said, you know you're an empath, right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, and at this point she was already developing her mediumship skills, and I'm like, and then she asked me a couple questions, like, would you feel sad when you see an abandoned house? I'm like, well, doesn't everybody? And she goes, no. I'm like, okay, well. And so, I delved into the whole, what is an empath? And that's kind of was what kickstarted my journey, was that she felt the need to kind of push me out there. Oh. And it was definitely pushing me out there.
I was going to say, she kicked you off the boat, didn't she?
She did.
Into the water.
But she more than likely was being prompted to do so. Yeah. And that started my spiritual journey, I would say, around 2009, 2010. About more like in between there. Spirit had just moved a very toxic person out of my life in that time frame.
Yeah.
And so that opened the door, because I wouldn't have been open to any kind of conversation until that was removed from my path. And so whatever lessons I needed to learn during that period, and then that opened up to my spiritual path beginning. And I was very blessed to be in the mountain, be near mountains at that period of my life as well. Mountains to me have always been very healing for me. And that's what kickstarted the journey. I kind of delved a little bit into it, but didn't take it really, really seriously. And that's when the health issues started to develop. And then I think in 2013 is when I just really started like, well, if you want me to do something, you tell me, because I don't know what you want me to do. And then it's like, and then I got an answer. It's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
that was weird, but okay. And I was basically being told to move cross country, go from Reno, Nevada, where I was, had a nice job and friends and had etched out a life for myself there, to come cross country, to move to North Carolina to be closer to my parents.
Right.
And that, and to give an idea of when it's the right path, everything goes smoothly. I gave notice. I said, I'm going to have to quit. I feel that I need to be closer to my parents for whatever reason. They would come out and visit me every other year. Right. One year they'd go visit you guys, and then the next year they'd come out to Reno, and it's kind of like, well, if they come and visit me every other year, how many more visits do I have?
Right.
And I just felt, Spirit was telling me I needed to be here. So I gave notice, and then they said, well, instead of giving notice, we'll move you to North Carolina. We have an opening in a store at Asheville, and we'll give you so much money to relocate. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's a sign of how Spirit gets you going on your right path.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So this was a true blessing and a true answer to what I was supposed to do. My father flew out, and he drove with me cross country to move from Reno to North Carolina, and that gave us some wonderful bonding time and a 5.5-day car ride.
Yes.
but it put me on the right path. And then when it was time for me to leave that position, Spirit made it very, very difficult to be at work. Very difficult to interact with people, the supervisors and the higher ups. And when those difficulties started to arise, I was starting to identify the signals.
Gotcha.
And then I quit my job, and I thought my parents were going to die. What?
You did what?
But it was part of the spiritual growth.
Yes.
Of course, it was part of making them worry more too, I think, which was not part of the deal. But from a spiritual perspective, every time I've had the overwhelming sense this is what I need to do, it's been for a reason.
Yes.
And it's, and so when you're on the right path, you don't get whacked on the head like Kim does, and you kind of, things fall into place. If you're trying to do something and you keep trying and trying because you think that's your path and it's not happening, that's your ego saying that's your path, and that's not really your path.
Right. That's not listening to the inner voice. That's just...
Yeah. And so that helped me, I think, to, as I did the long answer again to your question, helped me start to develop my psychic abilities and who I am, and doing craft shows helped because it never failed. My people would find me. Mm-hmm. And that's who I got to start to call my people. It's just someone who would be showing up with, hey, okay, I need a stone for this or this purpose, and like, oh, okay, this is what we're going to do, and, go through the process. And every time that those type of people would show up, the reading would happen. I wasn't trying. I wasn't like, ooh, let me see what I can get off you. It would just be the general conversation. You were brought to me for a reason. Let me help you with whatever you need a stone for. And then all of a sudden it would be, oh, you've got a health issue. Your health issue is around your stomach, right? And they'd be like, yeah. And it's like, okay. And, and then they'd be like, how did you know that? And like, I don't know.
Just do.
Just do. But, so it's just kind of had the journey to grow. And I couldn't get enough books to read. I would be drawn to books. I would be drawn to different things. And then reaching out to other people and hearing what they do and listening to, watching YouTube videos on stuff and just getting different perspectives and having conversations. I mean, how many conversations have we had, Kim?
Oh, more than I can count. It's countless.
Yes.
Endless conversations.
That talk about anything that has to do with psychic abilities or empath abilities or, this is what happened the other day, just doing that. But I like to write everything down too, just to go back and say, hey, I got that right.
Exactly. That
Go
there's
team.
the journaling again,
Yeah.
which we didn't really talk much on this episode about the journaling, but I think we all know that is so important along with the meditation for each empath, each Claire, whatever we're doing in the psychic journey is so important.
And to go back to the emotional empath, I think journaling is so important to the emotional empath because it helps you sort through what's yours.
Yeah. Well, and that's the same with the intuitive, because they get those too.
Yep. Write down what's going on or what's happening or how you feel, and then why. Mm-hmm. Yep. What's going on around me? Why do I feel that way?
Yep.
Yep.
And
I have found situations where I've had people that dislike me from the minute that they met me. And
I have
first,
too.
Well, at first that really bothered me because it's like, I'm a really nice person, I think. I'm like, I haven't done anything to you. And then as I started researching empaths, all empaths have the uncanny ability to flip that mirror up without even realizing it. You're flipping a mirror up and you're reflecting back to them the qualities that they don't like that they see in you. But the qualities they don't like in themselves. And they're seeing it in you.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So
that explains a lot.
Yeah. So it took a while not to take that personally because it's like, because then you try harder to get this person to like you, and you're actually pouring gasoline on the fire by doing that because you're intensifying what you're still reflecting back.
Yes. And it becomes so toxic.
Yes. So, and it's so easy to get drawn into that. But I'm just trying to be your friend. I'm just trying to be nice. I don't understand. And because, empaths like to please people.
Yes.
So when you have someone that has an instant dislike for you, let them enjoy it. Back off.
Just back off. Let it happen. They're going to be them. It's not you.
Because you're showing them an aspect of themselves or a characteristic of themselves that they don't like. They don't want to see that about themselves.
Yeah, and they may not even realize that they're seeing that in themselves. Yeah. And so, as empaths, we automatically reflect things back without honing in our skills. You might just be, so if someone has a instant dislike for you, it's not personal. And that's their right to miss out on an incredibly awesome person, but that's because you're showing them something that they need to address but don't want to address or don't understand why they're seeing it. Yes, and it also could be the fact that they are not meant to be in your life as well.
Exactly. Or they're just not a nice person.
True. Or
there is that.
Nice. Yeah, there is that. I was just trying to be nice about it. Here I am trying to be nice again about it.
I said it nicely.
You did.
But But when you think about it, if you ever met somebody and you had an instant dislike for them, have you ever stopped to ask yourself why?
Well, it could be because you're picking up on something about them, or
right, or they're mirroring something back.
Or they're mirroring something back. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have the philosophy, if you don't want to be around me, there's the door. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If you want to leave the party, do it quickly and don't drag it out.
That's right.
Say your goodbyes and go.
That's right.
But I mean, that's where that has been my path in life. And I don't know why I signed up for this before I came down, but my path in life seems to be to learn these life lessons and grow from them and try not to repeat them. But and I don't know if it's because I'm getting older too, that's probably like, this is like, you know what? I don't care. Go. Because you're not supposed to be in my path.
Exactly.
We've talked about this before where, I have a habit of, asking my spirit team to gently remove, I say gently now, remove anybody or anything from my life that doesn't serve me or is negative or is keeping me from my path. And, I did one day and I didn't say gently. I just said, please remove from my life anybody that's negative, keeping me from my path. It's not helping me. I got ready for work. On my way to work, I get a phone call and the guy I was dating broke up with me. And I'm like, dang, that was fast. But your spiritual path, there's no time frame on your path. Spirit world doesn't have, we're going to have the 5-year plan. They don't have a 5-year plan.
Right.
It's just your path. So when you ask for things, be specific.
Yeah.
Gently remove those from my life that do not serve me or are not supposed to be on my path, and put me on the right path, and put those in my path that are supposed to help me get there.
Right.
And that's part of finding your tribe.
That is part of finding where you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to have in there with you.
Yeah. And your tribe will change as you grow and your needs become different. Sure. And you have to be willing to, on your spiritual path, just let it go, because it's not personal.
That's something that empaths have a difficult time with, is letting that all go in the past. Don't keep hanging on to it. Just, you've learned your lesson. You're on your path now. Let what happened in the past go.
And that doesn't mean you don't mourn it.
Right.
If you've lost, if you have someone you hold dear friend walk out of your life because their path has changed to something else, you still need to mourn the loss of that, but also understand and not be locked in grief that was part of the plan.
Right. You can't continue to hang on to it.
Right.
And then feel bad about it. I mean, feel guilty about it. Feel whatever. That they were put there for this specific reason. Whatever that reason is, you may or may not know that reason.
Yeah.
But it was time for them to be moving on to their own journey while you continued yours.
Exactly.
So I think that's going to wrap up this episode, this third episode of the What Is That Feeling series on empaths. The next episode, I think we are going to start with the physical empath. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we can't wait to bring you the next one on physical empaths.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. May your light shine bright. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, Psychic Bent. If you enjoyed Psychic Bent, please like, follow, rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to Psychic Bent. We can be reached on Facebook at Psychic Bent Podcast. Our email address is psychicbent1@gmail.com. May your light shine bright.